In class, we're going to do a little art project to kind of help us remember the different features in North America that we have studied over the past 2 weeks. So, for my online friends, feel free to do this. You can just watch this presentation if that's better. You can do it in your own creative way. Do not feel like you have to go out and buy glitter or construction paper. But just wanted to kind of show you some so you can, if you would like to try something like this. So I've got my map. I went ahead and printed it on construction paper just because it's a little bit thicker. And I'm just going to decide which feature I would like to add to the map first. So I think I'm going to start on the west coast. And remember that there is a large feature that starts and goes down the coast. I wonder which feature I'm talking about. The Rocky Mountains, of course. So I decided I was going to use a little gray paper for the Rocky Mountains. And the Rocky Mountains are the highest mountains in North America. So I've just decided that I'm going to create some triangles, different sizes. And I'm making them a little longer or taller than I'm actually going to need, because in order to get them to stand up, I'm going to fold a little tab on the bottom of each one. So I've got my tab. I'm going to put glue on just that tab. And then I'm going to just kind of build my mountain range. So remember, it's along that west coast and it goes down into New Mexico. I'm going to do some triangles. They can overlap a little bit. So I'm just going to keep building that range coming all the way down, because we remember those Rocky Mountains even go up into Canada. So I'm not going to continue on and finish that right now. But after I've built that, I need to make sure that I label it. And I'm fine with using the abbreviation for mountains. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I know there was a second mountain range. It's the one closest to us. Not quite as high. So I may not make these peaks quite as high. And so to represent the Appalachian Mountains, which run also into Canada all the way down to Alabama, here we live, so it's going to come right through here. I think I'm going to do a more of a rounded mountaintop. And I decided this one I was going to do a little brown paper. But again, guys, this really is not, I mean, how would you creatively like to show these features? Again, I made them a little taller than I needed because I'm going to go ahead and fold a tab. A little tab on the bottom. So I want to make sure, are the Appalachian Mountains under the Great Lakes, or do they run down the side? Are they all the way on the coast? Kind of here. We think about, here's where we live, and we know we're part of that mountain range. So I'm just going to start building mountain range all the way along the east coast for the Appalachian Mountains. And again, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do that whole thing. But you can kind of imagine I'm going to do them all the way up into Canada and all the way down into Alabama. And then, of course, my job is not done until I actually label uppercase A, because it's the name. Okay, so now we're going to go to our rivers. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use glitter for this. You could use yarn. You could just draw it with a blue crayon if you'd like. So really, this is about how you want to represent those rivers. I'm going to start with one of the longest rivers in North America, and that's the Mississippi. So you have to look for this L-shaped state, Louisiana, and the Mississippi River goes up the side I'm going to look fast report. So when we start it, it's going to be right here at the foot of the L. And I'm not going to need a whole lot of glue. Just going to kind of give that river. Okay, and then I also have the Rio Grande River, and if you remember, that's the one that is the border between Texas and Mexico and actually makes the shape, and then it goes up into New Mexico. So I'm going to start here at the tip. Just kind of follow. So you could put a little blue line, you could do some yarn, right? And then I've got the James River, which is the one we talked about in where the first settlements in Virginia. So I'm just going to put a little blue line over here in Virginia. Okay. So I'm going to take this over the trash can and shake it off real fast. Okay, and now, really important, I've got to make sure I label them. M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P. P-I. This stands for large river in Spanish. Now, the James River was not mentioned in our textbook because the James River is more in Virginia's history, and our textbook is made for states other than just Virginia. All right, so I've got my mountain ranges, which I haven't finished, but I'm going to, and my Appalachian Mountains and my Rocky Mountains. I've got my Rio Grande River or Rio Grande River, my Mississippi River, and my James River. The sixth feature that we talked about was 5 interconnected freshwater lakes, the largest freshwater system in the entire world, and that's the Great Lakes. I think I'm just going to do those in glitter too. And we know that each lake has its own name, but together they get the name the Great Lakes. So if you are at home and would like to create some type of map with the 3D function where it kind of sits up and shows the Rocky Mountains, the Rio Grande, the Mississippi River, the Appalachian Mountains, the James River, and the Great Lakes. Let me shake that off and I'll show you one more time. My in-class friends, we will do this in class. My online friends, if you would like to make one of your own, I would love to see a picture of it. Great job. Those are the features from North America. And remember, guys, the United States of America is not North America. North America is larger than that. It includes Canada and Mexico. But the features that we've studied are all in the United States of America. So that's why this map was okay to use for that. But like I said, these mountains go up into Canada. These mountains even go up into Canada. Good work.